How we going, everybody? We've got our fruit trees to dig up now. It's the season for it. If you've got deciduous trees, don't wait any longer. It's time to do it now. This is the area where I planted my olives, got rid of the silver birch, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think, or 7 fruit trees, assorted fruit, cherries, nectarines, apricots. I'm going to dig them up, and if you're going to do that too, use a garden fork. We've done it once before. We dug up some that we had temporarily planted in the veggie garden. Well, we've got some there still to finish off, and we're going to take all these ones, some dwarf ones too. Look at this, even Krishna's been at it. All this eating stuff here, not rabbits. Rabbits would be down here. This is Krishna, our horse. Look how soft that is with all the rain we've had. Oh, straight up it comes. That wasn't hard, was it? Okay. Garden fork, that's one. So these have been about a year in the ground. They haven't taken that much. It's quite safe. Leave the roots. If you've got soil on it, leave it on there. Don't take it off. Very much alive. It's already growing. That cherry tree you saw with the roots growing out there, well, that's the rootstock. And that's how all fruit trees are, because they're all exotic trees. They come from different parts of the world. And they put a rootstock on them so they can grow better here in our Australian soils. Now, this is our apricot tree. This has got a rootstock as well. You can see that down there. Oh, look at this. Now I remember, one of us here hit it with the brush cutter. Look at that. We wounded the actual rootstock, but it's still very much alive, so we're lucky enough this is going to survive this. Let's hope I can dig it up in one piece. If you haven't dug a tree up before, folks, start out far. I reckon it's about 40 centimetres out from the trunk where the roots are. You can see I'm lifting up the soil. You'll hear some crunching and cracking. That could be the weeds or that could be the tree's roots. Yep, I've got to the edge of it. There we are, look at that. Straight up it comes. Some trees are a lot easier than others, obviously. There we are. All right, so how many is that? 4. 5, and it's starting to rain. There we are. Healthy roots. What's left? Oh, this thing here. You got to be kidding me. Is that alive? Krishna, what haven't you eaten? Yeah, it's alive, all right. The rootstock is, at least. We'll stick it in the ground and see what happens. All right, we're going to load them up and take them straight to the orchard. Play them out with all the rest of the trees we've got down there. This is our little orchard. We've got about 120 fruit trees, or I think more than that, 150. We're going to get it up to about 200 plus. And I was just noticing here, we've got a pear sensation, beautiful red pear. And the labels, I haven't changed these yet. Now, if you remember a long, long time ago with Craig Castry, we used those PVC pipes to cut them into little rings and write the name on them. That's what I've got to do here. Still, I haven't finished doing that, because this label here with its tag, and now when you buy your fruit trees, no matter what it is, I just pulled it out earlier, but just in here, if you could have a close look in there, I got my fingernail in there. That was in there. That was ring barking it. It was actually caught up inside the tree. So if that grew any more, this string would have cut into the actual trunk itself and basically stop the circulation, which means no more sap flow, and this top half here would have died off. So I've got to go around here and loosen up all these tags that these trees have got and change them over to that PVC pipe with a label on them, so I don't forget what these are, because I can't remember every single tree, because there's one of everything here. 150 trees approximately. Now we're going to put another 5 or 6, and we're going to use the tiller, so come along. We're going to till this soil out, add a bit of blood and bone compost and black grit into the soil and a bit of worm castings, and backfill it. Nothing special, because later on I'm going to show you how we compost and mulch this whole row here so we can get a beautiful production of fruit. How easy is that, eh? Now a little bit of worm castings, blood and bone, chicken manure and black grit to balance it all out. Normally I'd say to you, bring some fresh composted soil in here too, folks. But in this case here, because we've got so many, you don't have to. If your soil's good, look at this soil. This is beautiful soil. I love it. A lot of weeds in there too, but you know, I'm not going to fight the weeds. I'm just going to work with them, cut them down. But that's really good soil. So a couple of handfuls of worm castings, not much. The same with the blood and bone. No, Jack, this is not lunchtime for you either. No, mate. Hey, yep, that's right. You walk away. And chicken manure. About a third of a bag, half a bag. And some black grit around the top, a couple of handfuls, that's all we need, and then we mix it. Nice rich soil, like that, eye off the line. Bang, just there. Now before you put your plants in there, make sure you have a close look at the root system. There isn't any damage on it. Now, there's new roots growing on here. Still quite dormant, this one here in particular, but so there's nothing broken, nothing damaged or diseased, so that's quite fine. But it's always important to have a good look before you plant it, because once you bury it, it's gone. You'll never know. Next. Now this one here has been damaged by Krishna, our horse, because he loves to gnarl on the end of the branches. So we want to get rid of all that so we don't have any dieback. Just going to cut it back to there. And do the same with your trees if you've got a horse in your backyard. Well, it might not be a horse, it might be a bloody donkey. There's a beautiful peach here. Now, this is going to go in. Have a look at it, it's lopsided, it's got more growth on that side there, and generally that's what happens with trees when they're searching out for the sun. They'll grow to the one side, so I'm going to face that to the south and put the weaker side, that's less advanced, facing northeast, or well, pretty much north actually. But and once you do that, also have a look at the roots. You don't want them kicking back up like that, so make sure you've got your roots, or giving them enough room. They can be just below the surface because they'll work their way back down. But you don't want them growing upwards there like that. Straighten it up. And air pockets. Now I'm putting soil on top of this, like this. We've gone through this before, but some of you may not have seen it. What you do is shake the tree lightly to agitate the soil back down below the root zone. And then just push the rest of the soil over the top, like that. Shake a bit more. And once you've done that, you can also add your water, because these will all need a good watering with EcoBoost and Liquid Gold. And when we do that, by not stamping on the soil, because if you have a look, this is what I mean. If I go like that, I've compacted the soil already. All the air pockets are gone out of this patch here, the surface that is. So the surface tension has been multiplied by 1,000, meaning the water will not transfer through. So you've got to loosen the soil and keep it loose and allow it to compact on its own. See what I've done? I've just pulled the roots up. Bury it back down carefully. So make sure you don't compact the soil too much when you're backfilling. And if you do, loosen it up again. Use a rake or your garden fork. And that way the water will penetrate through and fill up all the air pockets for you. So if you've got some fruit trees or deciduous trees, folks, that need to be transplanted, don't wait any longer. Get out there and do them now. And if your soil's really rock hard and dry, make sure you hydrate it well before you start. Use a garden fork, give it all the right nutrients, and keep it organic, keep it friendly. And don't forget your EcoBoost and Liquid Gold to give them the best opportunity to take root and grow big, strong and healthy in time for springtime. And don't forget to like our Facebook page if you like what we do here, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And for all your great gardening products, go to vasilisgarden.com, the official website. From me, Vasily, Maresi.